Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are going to break down the key lessons from the massive bestseller, Crucial Conversations. We're talking about the tools you need for those make-or-break moments when everything is on the line.
So let's just kick things off with this really powerful claim from the book. It says that handling these conversations is the number one thing that keeps top leaders from failing. But here's the thing, this isn't just for C-suite executives. This is a skill that can genuinely change every single part of your life.
All right, so first things first, we need a name for these high-stakes moments, right? The ones that feel like they could make or break, well, everything. The book gives us a super clear definition. It says you're in a crucial conversation when three things are present. 1, the stakes are high, meaning the outcome really matters. 2, opinions are all over the place. And 3, emotions are running strong. If you've got all three of those, yep, you're in a crucial conversation.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. We're talking about real-life moments that we all face. Asking your boss for that promotion, disagreeing with your team about strategy, or, on the home front, confronting your partner about something, or asking a friend to finally pay you back that loan. These aren't just chats. They are the moments that can literally change the entire direction of your career and your relationships.
So here's the crazy part, right? The paradox of all this is that the moment a conversation becomes the most important, that's exactly when we tend to be at our absolute worst. So what's going on there?
Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Our own biology kind of betrays us. See, when a conversation turns crucial, your body's ancient survival instincts just take over. It can't tell the difference between a tough talk with your boss and, say, a saber-toothed tiger, so it floods your system with adrenaline, getting you ready for fight or flight, not for a calm, intelligent discussion.
And this, right here, just perfectly explains the problem. Your brain literally diverts blood away from the parts that do all the smart thinking and sends it to your big muscles so you can run or fight. So you're left trying to navigate these super complex social situations with the reasoning power of a rhesus monkey. Not great.
So with our brains basically half offline, we fall back on one of two really unhelpful responses. The first one is silence. That's where we just clam up, we withhold what we're really thinking, we mask our feelings, or just avoid the topic completely. And on the other extreme, you've got violence. That's where we try to force our opinions on other people by controlling, labeling, or even attacking them. And spoiler alert, both of these paths lead straight to failure.
And look, the fallout from picking either of those paths, it's huge. I love this quote, "The void created by the failure to communicate is soon filled with poison, dread, and misrepresentation." When we don't talk, that empty space just gets filled up with the worst possible assumptions.
And all of this leads to what is, honestly, a pretty audacious claim from the authors. They say that getting good at this one skill can radically improve pretty much every aspect of your life, your career, your company, your relationships, your community, and get this, even your physical health.
Okay, so that's the problem. We're basically hardwired to mess these things up. So, what do the people who are great at this do differently? Let's get into the solution.
And the solution, it's surprisingly simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It all comes down to one word: dialogue. The book defines dialogue as the free flow of meaning between people. The goal is to get all the important information, everyone's truth, out on the table where it's safe.
The whole point isn't to win, okay? It's not about being right. The goal is to get all the relevant information from everyone involved into what the authors call a pool of shared meaning. The best communicators work to make it safe for everybody to add their piece of the puzzle to this shared pool.
And this is where the magic really happens, inside this shared pool. It is the birthplace of synergy. When that pool is full of information from everyone, it leads to way smarter decisions. The collective IQ of the group literally goes up. Plus, it creates real commitment because people will always get behind ideas they helped create.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? Especially when you feel like you're under attack? Well, it all starts with one core principle.
And that first and honestly most important principle is to start with heart. What does that mean? It means you work on yourself first. The most talented communicators on the planet don't start by opening their mouths. They start by looking at their own motives and getting themselves right.
They literally interrupt that adrenaline-fueled fight-or-flight reaction by stopping and asking one simple, critical question. What do I really want? What do I want for myself, for the other person, and for our relationship? Just asking this stops our worst instincts right in their tracks.
And this isn't just some psychological trick. It actually has a physical effect on your body. Asking that complex question literally helps reroute blood back to the smart reasoning part of your brain.
It stops you from just trying to win or save face, and it gets you back to the real goal, productive dialogue.
All right, next up. The folks who are great at this, they refuse to fall for what the book calls a sucker's choice. And this is that classic either-or trap that we all fall into, where we think we have to choose between two awful options. Like, well, I can either be brutally honest and hurt their feelings, or I can be a coward and say nothing.
Instead of choosing one of those bad options, they search for the and. They ask, how can I be honest and respectful? You do this in 3 steps. First, clarify what you want. For example, I want to talk to my colleague about their missed deadlines. Second, clarify what you don't want. I don't want to demoralize them or ruin our good working relationship. Third, you mash them together into a question. How can I talk to them about the deadlines in a way that is also motivating and preserves our relationship? That question forces your brain to look for a better, more creative way forward.
So, when you start with hearts and you refuse to accept those false choices, you prove something really powerful to yourself. You always have more options than just fight or flight. You are not just a victim of your own biology.
So as we wrap this up, I want you to think about this. What's a crucial conversation in your life that you can handle differently now? Because by starting with what you really want and refusing to settle for bad options, you really can begin to transform the most important moments of your life.